It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, June 18th, and it's a gorgeous day here in Los Angeles. I know that we're dealing with some crazy weather around the country. I know that there's some sort of a heat wave going on. There's a lot of rains on the East Coast. Where are you right now? Where are you? How do you feel? What's the weather like? Are we surviving? Are we getting through the day? That's the most important question here on Daily Dose of Donna because without you, there's not a show. There's not a show. And so I just want to shout you guys out because you have kept me in the top 100 of TV and film podcasts for weeks now. And just this morning, I checked and I was at number 72 or something in the low 70s. And I'm like, I'm here just talking, but it's really, we're here because of you guys. So thank you so much for being here. We have a big show today, even though we have no reality shows to recap that are on Bravo, although we will talk a little bit about Perfect Match later on in the episode. There's a lot of other stuff that's happened, throughout the night, waking up with all the new stuff, waking up in the morning. What's the Gia song? Waking up in the morning. I'm going to have to find it. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about today on Daily Dose of Donna. All right, I found the Waking Up in the Morning song, and I feel like we got to listen to it for just a little bit, just a moment, because I mean, there's nothing like this song. Remember these days of Jersey? Look at Caroline Manzo.
Who'd you make this up for?
My mom is here.
Everyone looks like a different person in these days of
Wait, why you
Jersey.
Don't cry. Okay.
Come on, Gia. Let's go.
I just want to make sure my dad's not here because I don't get upset.
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better. I'm trying to get rid of them, but nothing seems to stay the same. Woke up in the morning.
Now let me. Oh my God, Joe's hair. Everyone looks like a different human being.
Oh, whoa. Things are just caught up in my mind. Just cannot get
I mean,
rid
it's
of
so
them.
sad, but actually at the same time,
I just cannot get rid of this. I cannot take chances.
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. My kids also do cringy things like that, but unfortunately, I don't have a reality show following them around so that they can go back and see these cringy moments. I mean, can you imagine being Gia and knowing that that was filmed? Waking up in the morning. Let's start every day. Waking up in the morning. It was so sad. You're right, Valerie. It was heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking. And the story doesn't change. Like the heartbreak follows these people around everywhere they go. We'll talk a little bit about Jersey because Andy Cohen was on Jeff Lewis's show. We'll talk about a bunch of things. But let's lead off with the biggest story of all, which is Justin freaking Timberlake. All right, you guys, raise your hand if you're surprised that Justin Timberlake is involved in another PR nightmare. Nope, not surprised. Justin Timberlake is giving me like Ben Affleck vibes when he was with Jennifer Garner. For some reason, I always just have this like weird vibe that Jessica Biel and Jennifer Garner are like peas in a pod. They're both very successful from what we see, very like grounded, kind, normal wives. They don't get into trouble. They're not like making front page like negative news all the time. They have kids to take care of. And then they're both married to these like showboat, rich, very successful, talented people, right? And both of them seem to be like inconsistent. Okay, bug. Both of them seem to be in like consistent issues, right? Justin Timberlake, this guy cannot catch, like he can't get it out of his own way, right? all the drama about him and Britney Spears that came to light kind of recently when she talked about, their relationship and how like he was actually kind of an ass. He had that story that came out a couple years ago when he was drunk on a balcony, I think in New Orleans, shooting a film with his co-star. And he like had his hand on her or something along those lines. So of course it made people say, "What the f? This is like not married man behavior." And then, um, the Janet Jackson story. And a lot of people have heard negative things about Justin Timberlake. See, I feel bad. I love Justin Timberlake from NSYNC days. He was my man. A lot of you guys like JC. I was a Justin Timberlake guy. But the older he gets and the more idiotic he makes these moves, it's just, ugh. So basically, what happened was, and look, we don't know his blood alcohol percentage. We at this point we don't know. He has pled not guilty to driving intoxicated, but this is what we know. He was, let me read the article or like read the important parts. Last night he was in the wealthy Hamptons area, Sag Harbor. I don't know Hamptons that well. I just know it from watching shows because I've never been. But from what my friend told me that lives in that area, she said there's like many little towns that kind of stretch along a whole long road that are all considered the Hamptons. And he was pulled over for a suspected DWI early in the morning. Was it early in the morning? I think it was like either late at night or early in the morning. I don't see a time right here. But he reeked of booze and was glassy-eyed, according to this report. He was pulled over after he left shortly after midnight. So it was early this morning when he blew past a stop sign. Local officers reportedly followed the pop star and observed him swerving across the road, forcing cops to pull him over. The father of two performed a field sobriety test, asked to take a breathalyzer test, which he refused. Apparently, he failed the sobriety test or the field test where you're supposed to like walk in a straight line on one leg or something along those lines. Let me jump over to TMZ because I feel like TMZ always has like the definite information. He had a bunch of friends, I guess, that tried to come and like get the cops to like give him a break, which is just weird, right? Um, but they said that they, they saw a strong odor, bloodshot, glassy eyes, unable to divide attention, slowed speech, unsteady afoot. Well, that doesn't sound like one or two drinks. That sounds like he was wasted. And cops go on to say he performed poorly on old field sobriety tests. One last thing, cops claim Justin said, "I had one martini and I followed my friends home." It says there's no mention of Justin's friends intervening in this police report, but we're told friends of his attempted to intervene during the stop, asked them to cut a break. Like they basically probably said, do your kids want a ticket to his concert? So this morning at 8:44 Pacific time, TMZ obtained new photos of him leaving the police station. So he spent the night there. Obviously, he's pretty relaxed considering everything he went through. He walked by a police cruiser, rocking a casual outfit, a ball cap, and shades. He also is with his attorney leaving the courthouse. You can see his lawyer holding a briefcase and leading Justin out of the building. Okay, so he was arraigned and released without bail. He has been charged with one count of DWI and cited for running a stop sign and failure to keep in his lane. He's going to have to go back to court in July 26th. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, what's going to happen if he gets charged with a DWI? I imagine it's just like a DUI. I don't know the rules in New York versus California, but I know that here in California, you lose your license, I'm pretty sure, after one DWI or DUI, and then you have to go to like classes, right? Isn't that the case? I'm pretty sure that that's the case here. I don't know exactly. Now, this is the thing that is just absolutely shocking. Everyone says this in my DMs, and you guys are saying it all in the comments right here. Why are these people driving when they've even had a lick of alcohol? There's so many different reasons why not to do this. Now, I understand why you would think, okay, I'm going out for one drink and I'm going to drive. I can understand why. However, I don't even risk that. I mean, I'll get one glass of wine out to dinner and drive home. If it's close and I'm eating. But if I know I'm having more than one drink, and if you're having a martini, that's like definitely having more than one drink, because a martini is legit just alcohol. Why would you risk driving? Not only if you're if you're just like a normie like us, right? But if you're a celebrity and you know that you, with one little mistake, can have your name plastered all over every single press, article as it is today. And then not only that, God forbid you injure someone or kill someone. I can't get over that story about that woman, Rebecca Grossman, that disgusting woman who, like high profile, wealthy woman who was here in Westlake area, which is just like Calabasas, kind of, it's local. I think it was around the pandemic, and she was drinking during the day with her alleged boyfriend. She was married, but had a boyfriend, was following him home, driving really fast in the middle of the day. And she killed two brothers walking across the street. I will never get that story out of my mind because my kids were like the exact same age. And anyway, she just got charged to, I think, like 16 years or something in prison. But the point is like these things can happen like that. Like that, your life is over. So why wouldn't Justin Timberlake take an Uber? I don't know the Hamptons. I don't know Sag Harbor. Do they have like a big Uber situation? There are certain small towns that struggle with Ubers. Do they have but Justin Timberlake is rich enough that if you can't find an Uber, like Justin has people on speed dial that will come and pick him up. He can get like one of those, black cars service that can come and pick him up in 2 seconds. So listen, what Marsha says is sadly humans are imperfect and we all can make mistakes. Abso-freaking-lutely. But this is something that can really be avoided. And the only way to avoid it is by not doing it and making that decision at the beginning of the night. And the only way to really do that is to make the decision at the beginning of the night, because unfortunately, and I've experienced this myself in the past, sometimes when you drive somewhere and you do have a drink or two too many, you get in the car driving home because your judgment is impaired. And so you choose in your mind, or you think in your mind, that you're okay to drive. So that's why the only real way to avoid ever drinking and driving is making the decision before you even go out that you're not driving there. I don't take my car out, even when Lance and I go to dinner. We don't drive to dinner. If we know we're going out like on a Saturday night for date night, we were going to have a couple cocktails. We don't drive. And it keeps us more local because, who wants to get in an Uber for an hour? I don't, but it doesn't matter. So really unfortunate. Now, meanwhile, Jessica Biel, his wife, is over in Manhattan shooting some sort of a film or a TV show, something, the other sister. I don't really know exactly what it is. I know that they have kids that are a little bit younger, I think, than my kids. I know they're like a local LA family. I just can't imagine waking up as a mother knowing that like my husband, who's Justin Timberlake, is again stepping himself into shit, alcohol related. Ugh, it's very frustrating. Do you think? I don't think so. I don't think it's this bad. But do you think that there's like a world where this becomes the Ben Affleck, Jennifer Garner situation, like where Jessica Biel is like, I can't be with you anymore because of your wildness? Or do you think that they're still okay and like everything's fine? I don't know. Wow, your guys' stories in the comments are devastating. See, everyone knows someone that has been affected by drunk driving. It's my biggest fear. It really is my biggest fear. It's my biggest fear to be on the road with a drunk driver. It's my biggest fear to do something, even sober, to do something that is like tragic. Like cars are machines. I mean, they're like, there's literally like you're driving like weapons when you're driving. It's crazy. It is a crazy story. Yeah. So I wonder what's going to happen to Justin in the future. And who knows what his life is like on a normal day-to-day basis? Who knows what his alcohol intake is, if this is just like a once in a while thing. But 2 times now, alcohol has been involved with him, and these really bad stories that now affect his wife again. It's just bad. Don't love it. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to other stories that aren't that upsetting, but yeah, it was pretty disappointing. And you know what? The only thing you can do in this case is say you're incredibly sorry and just like show remorse and don't ever do it again. That's the best thing he can do in this moment. Okay. Before I get into the next story, I do want to shout out Lola V because Lola V is sponsoring Daily Dose of Donna again this week. And you guys remember that Lola V is what I use every day. Now, today, I didn't wash my hair. Okay. I didn't wash my hair because I didn't have a lot of time this morning with my morning routine, but I did use, because I put it all up here, I use their dry oil. So I have like a bunch of different products, and one of them is this amazing dry oil, and it smells good, but it doesn't smell too strong, and it doesn't oil down your hair, but it just kind of keeps the ends feeling healthy. It's great to use before or after you blow dry your hair. Lola V is really amazing for ultimate summer hair care. And because it's created with the finest natural clinical ingredients, it ensures your hair feels as luxurious and carefree as a summer breeze. So say goodbye to sun damage, tangled hair, and hello to shine, strength, and elegance. Summer is the season of confidence, and Lola V embodies a spirit. So you can get 15% off your entire order at lolav.com. Just use code Donna, DANA. Harness the power of summer shine. They have this glossing detangler, which works fantastico. I have really tangled hair, and this glossing detangler not only takes out the tangles like in 2 seconds, but the shine of your hair will like go up a notch. It's amazing. So 15% off your order at lolav.com with promo code Donna, DANA. Make sure to tell them that Daily Dose of Donna sent you. All right, next on the agenda, let's talk about PK. Speaking of alcohol, this is a crazy cool update for PK. PK Kemsley, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star, Dorit's husband. They're still technically married, right? I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure they're still technically, yeah, there's no divorce, but we know that they're separated. PK is celebrating 6 months sober. And I don't think any of us actually really knew that he was even attempting sobriety. Where are we right now? We're June 17th yesterday. So January 17th. No. So December 17th sounds like when he probably decided to stop drinking, right? Father's Day on Sunday was exactly 6 months of sobriety, and he wrote on Instagram, "On Father's Day, the greatest gift I can give my 5 kids is to remain sober." He has a 12 steps app that he posted, and it tells you exactly how many days you're sober, how many hours, how many months, etc. In 2021, he was arrested on suspicion of a DUI, but the LA City Attorney's Office dropped the case in 2022 based on insufficiency of the evidence, according to TMZ. Okay. His announcement came out about a month after he and wife Dorit Kemsley revealed they were separating just 2 months after celebrating their 9th wedding anniversary. So maybe this was part of the separation reasons. I mean, without knowing too much, maybe she felt like he was drinking too much and he wasn't, around or not really as present as she wanted him to be. So yes, they're separated. We know that they've had a tough thing. And in the reunion, Dorit did say that he's been sober for 49 days. So we knew he had stopped drinking. We just didn't know that it was like a forever thing. But it sounds to me like the fact that he's publicly announcing it on his Instagram, it sounds to me like he actually is taking it seriously and he's going to remain sober. And man, I mean, that's really good. That's really good for him. I don't know how, I don't know how much he was drinking, but he did drink in every episode. Like he was like the Jesse Lally from the Valley, because is it Lolly? Yeah, Lolly. Because in that show, The Valley, I noticed there's alcohol in every single scene that Jesse is in, and PK too. Do you remember in this last season when Dorit was dealing with her PTSD with that therapist that came over to their house and he was drinking Coronas like during a therapy session? So, yeah, maybe this was something that was like actually a problem. So, gosh, you guys, there's a lot of alcohol stories today because we have another one coming up right next, and that is this Howie Mandel story, which is just crazy, in my opinion. Did you guys see this? I hate to have to bring this up, but I kind of like had a moment this morning where I saw this and I was like, number one, this story is wild. But number two, I can't believe that he shared this on Rick and Kelly. And then number three, I can't believe that he shared this and shared pictures of his wife. So, in case you're wondering what the story is, and I think I'll show you guys a picture if you want. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see this picture. But it's kind of a wild, wild story. So basically, Howie Mandel, America's Got Talent, Howie Mandel, we know him as Deal or No Deal, or of course, the man who hosted the worst interview of all time ever, ever, ever with Tom Sandoval right after Scandoval. But okay, I digress. He revealed, this is literally the headline. America's Got Talent's Howie Mandel reveals he found his wife lying in a pool of blood with her skull exposed after a shocking drunken injury. Huh? So when I saw that, I was like, wait, what? So basically, he was on Rick and Kelly, not Rick and Kelly, Kelly and Mark, another Kelly, and he and his wife, Terry Soyle, what a name. He and his wife, Terry Soyle, had been drinking on a trip in Las Vegas. And I guess what happened was they had been drinking too much. And his wife is 68 years old. So is he. So these aren't, little young spring chickens. He said that he recounted the horrifying moment that he was awoken by a loud noise in the middle of the night. They had partied, drinking too much for his tipsy wife of more than 40 years. He didn't realize she'd had too much to drink before he went to bed. In the middle of the night, I guess she got up and she headed into the wall, which I guess could happen if you've drank too much and you're like not really familiar with your surroundings or it's dark. She fell and hit the wainscoting. Oh my God, my head hurts just thinking about this. And she slipped, went down, hit that on her eye, then fell on the floor and broke her cheek. Guys, are you okay? Now, do you want to see a picture? Oh my God. He says, I heard bang and ah, and I woke up and I went, where are you? And she went, I don't know. Then they showed a picture of her injuries. It is the most disgusting, crazy, like bruised face you've ever seen, eyes, cuts, the whole thing. She has a large diagonal gash in the center of her face that's surrounded by a violet bruise, etc. Swollen left eye. And Howie, just said that he was saying this like in a joking way. I turn on the light. I look around the bed. She's in the corner face down, and I didn't know she'd cut her head, but blood was pooling. I freaked out. I picked her up. I put her on the bed. There's blood everywhere, he recalled. And I went and I grabbed all the towels, and all the towels are covered with blood. And she's going, get me ice, get me ice. He says, I don't know where to get ice. So then he gets a cold beverage can. Oh my God, I want to vomit. And he says that he gave her a cold can and she threw it because her whole head was exposed. I can't. They didn't call 911. He called the front desk, asked the staff to call 911, but they insisted on checking out the situation upstairs before calling for medical help. They came up, found a ton of blood. He was worried that everyone was going to think that he was abusing his wife. This is shocking. Then he says she was still very drunk, so the doctor was able to calm her down by removing the sheet that covered half her face, which she apparently didn't realize was blocking her vision. Luckily, Terry has since made a full recovery. Okay, hold up. If ever this happened to me, I don't care if you're 20 or 68, and your husband, the person who's supposed to love you the most, shares this story, not even just like to friends, on a national TV show, shows pictures, I think it's grounds for divorce. Like, I have never in my life felt so frustrated and disgusted with a human being. Like, this is a douche move of Howie Mandel. right? It's a douche move. You guys, the pictures are shocking. You don't want to see it. I saw a couple people saying, no, I don't want to see the picture. So I'm not going to show you. But if you want to see, it is scary. It's like, it's like shocking. It looks like she literally got the shit beat out of her, like in a dark alley with a baseball bat. It's really bad. Why the hell would you share something like this? Unless it was like an accident, like she got into a car accident and something happened to her. She was drunk and fell over in the middle of the night. Like, I, 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 is this what they consider humor in their house? Never, never would I be okay with that. Like, I've had embarrassing things that Lance says at a party sometimes, like, and they're not even close to this. They're just like an iota, and I won't talk to him for 4 hours. Like, I just can't believe it. Now, Mark Ward said Lance is canceling his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight. And it's a good thing because I've already filed in preparation for what he's going to share about me. This is not normal. This is not normal. He couldn't figure, yes, exactly, Mo. Not being able to figure out where ice was and just reaching for a can of Coke. And she's got an open gash on her head and he gets a can of Coke. I can't. You know, sometimes it's nice to hear stories like this so you can really appreciate the people in your own life because you assume that they wouldn't ever do something like this to you, right? What a story. Okay, let's move on to our next story. That's about the lovely Paige DeSorbo. You guys, you know that I love me some Paige. Paige from Summer House and the Giggly Squad podcast has yet another job. Now, she has a very big Amazon Live situation. She always gets these Amazon Live situations, like all these like Kyle Richards, Lala Kent, Paige DeSorbo. They're always on Amazon Live. They must make gang of money. I think probably they make money from affiliate links that they're sharing from their Amazon purchases, but Amazon probably pays certain celebrities to do their their content on Amazon. So I'm sure she's making a good amount of money. And she just announced that she has a new Amazon Live interview show. I'm going to show you you guys the trailer. I think it's actually really cute. She's very Paige is very watchable to me, and she's very entertaining. As Andrew says, Amazon Live is the new QVC. It really is. It really is. It's like the best version of it. Okay, let's watch the trailer together and tell me if you guys think you're going to watch it.
I'm Paige DeSorbo, and if you don't know me by now, this is where I live.
Chicken's favorite place.
I'm going to say something controversial.
Do it.
Where's the weirdest place you've ever slept? What's one thing you do in bed that you wouldn't tell people?
There's a certain celebrity.
It's from
I feel like this is a trap.
Well, we'll shop.
How to Scare Your Husband 101.
Okay. Yeah, please don't throw that at my cameraman. And we'll cozy up with some of my friends.
You are legit having a one-person cocktail party.
In bed with me, Paige DeSorbo, only on Amazon Live.
Okay. So in that trailer, for those of you that didn't watch, she has Craig in bed with her. She has Taylor Strecker, who we talked about yesterday, in bed with her. She has Jessel Tank, who is the new Roni girl. There was another person in there, but I don't remember who it was. She looks so cute. She's wearing a cute little bow. I mean, to me, Paige is stunning beyond belief stunning. She's just so easy to look at. Let's be real. And she's also really witty and smart. She actually knows how to host a show and speak. And I just think she's a genius when it comes to her gift of gab. I just think she's great. She's great in those interviews, those confessionals. She's great in on her podcast. She's great being interviewed. I just really love her. So anyway, this looks cute. I did get a DM from one of my dosers, shout out Candace, who was like, I swear I have tried for hours to figure out how to find this Amazon Live show. Where do you find it? So I sent her the link, but all I did was I Googled Paige DeSorbo Amazon Live, and a link came up to her Amazon Live storefront, essentially. And then there's a link on that says, set a notification reminder, very much YouTube reminiscent. And it will be released tomorrow, the 18th, or today. It'll be released today. at some point. It's already the 18th. Anyway, it looks really cute. I don't know how interesting it will be, but it does look cute. And it's interesting that Amazon Live is like taking on new content like this that's not just shopping related, although maybe they're going to talk about like, links of things while they're doing the show. Can you like think of anyone cuter than Craig and Paige? They're just so cute. Right now, Paige is in Italy. She goes to Italy every summer with her family, and usually Craig joins her, but he hasn't been there because he has that Nashville. So his Sewing Down South second opening was in Nashville. So many of you guys went. So many of you guys sent me pictures of you with him. Apparently, he was there for both days during the opening. There were lines out the door, of course. Everyone said he was so kind and so sweet and took pictures with everyone. And I guess he's going to go and visit Italy as well and join Paige. And let's see if there's going to be a ring in her future. Do you guys remember on Summer House this last season when they had that tarot card reader and she said, you're going to get engaged in 2024? Something like that, right? I was watching a part of the beginning of season 5 of Summer House last night because we're so dry. We're so in a drought of reality TV right now that I'm just rewatching Summer House. And this is COVID season. So I'm already depressed. But in the first episode, Paige is dropped off at the house by her boyfriend, Perry. Remember Perry? She always talked about Perry. And she says in the first episode, Perry told me to always have my nails done. Like, I feel like this is like something that Paige goes through, but I think she's going to end up with Craig. Okay. Speaking of Amazon, this is an interesting story. I mean, it's not really that interesting, but it is a story. Jeff Lewis. So Jeff Lewis, famous Jeff Lewis, Jeff. Actually, a lot of you guys found me through talking about Jeff Lewis. So I told you, or I don't know if I told you here, if I told you over on Patreon, that I went through a period where I just stopped listening to Jeff Lewis completely. I don't know what happened. I just stopped being interested in his content. But I've slowly started to creep back in. And I listened to Tamara Judge on Friday. I listened yesterday. And then today, of course, I listened because he had Andy Cohen on for the entire hour as his solo guest. And it was a great conversation. I love Andy Cohen and Jeff Lewis together. Like, there's something that's so fun about the two of them because Jeff gives zero fucks, right? He doesn't care whatsoever about Andy getting mad at him or anything. He'll just always be exactly who he wants to be and say whatever he wants to say. He is so unapologetically himself, Jeff Lewis, and he always will step into shit, especially with Andy Cohen. There's something about Andy and Jeff together that is just so dangerous. Like, it's just so dangerous. So what's funny is that I don't know. It's like it was a great interview, and basically Andy Cohen is celebrating his 15 years of Watch What Happens Live, and they're taping like a special with Jeff will be there. We found out today by accident, even though he wasn't supposed to share, that Teresa and Louis will be there. I imagine some of the biggest housewives of all time will be there. I heard Vicky's not going because she's not getting paid. I think Kelly Dodd said that. So this was like a non-paid appearance. We know that. So I'm sure the people that Andy is really close with, that love Andy and have known him for all the years, probably like the Countess and some of the big Roni OGs will be there. I'm sure, like Tamara or whoever. Anyway, the point is he's doing the show this week and Jeff Lewis is going to be on that, but he's also going to be on his Watch What Happens Live tonight. And he found out today that he has been on Watch What Happens Live 32 times. 32 times. Oh, this is a great comparison. Ray says Jeff Lewis is to Andy, is Andy is to Anderson. Yes, it's the total same. You're right. Like, Andy Cohen makes Anderson uncomfortable and gets him to like open up in weird ways. And Jeff Lewis does that to Andy Cohen. That's a great comparison. Anyway, this interview was just really eye-opening, but they did talk about all of Jeff Lewis's appearances, and he went through every single time he appeared. Starting in 2009, his first time ever appearing was with was it with Kim Zolciak in 2009, like 6 weeks after the show started, Watch What Happens Live. And then he went on to do, a bunch of appearances with different housewives and Jenny Poulos. And then more recently, he did a few with Bethany Frankel. And his last 2 were with Heather McDonald and then MJ. And I don't know who he's on with tonight. I can't remember. The point is, he did bring up Bethany and that whole story a little bit, because he said that, after this last Bethany, the last time that Jeff Lewis was on Watch What Happens Live was winter with Bethany. It was winter, December-ish of 2022. Okay. And this was right when Bethany had announced that she was going to start doing the Rewives podcast. And in that time it was around the time where Bethany had just been talking all kinds of smack about the housewives. I'll never do the housewives again. They're so stupid. They're so dumb, stupid reality TV. This is way before Reality Reckoning. And Andy Cohen, I think, took a little offense to it, because that's his show. That's his baby. And like, fine, you want to, not be happy about the past that you used to be on my show, but like, stop talking shit about my show. This is my job. This is my career. And they were still considered friends at that time. But I guess they had some weird falling out. Andy mentioned this on some sort of a show. He said, I find it interesting that Bethany's doing a podcast about the housewives, considering that she thinks it's stupid. Bethany took offense to that. Jeff Lewis definitely made some snide comments on that live, Watch What Happens Live, where he was like, "Oh, you're doing a podcast talking about the housewives? No one does that." Obviously. Anyway, they are incredibly they're incredibly cute and fun together. But in that moment, Jeff was like, he did say to Andy, he said, the day after that taping, you and I went to lunch or talked or something, and we were just so upset that Bethany was upset, because Bethany walked away from that Watch What Happens Live so upset. And now knowing Bethany, doesn't it all track so hard? Like, Bethany can dish it, she can't take it. The second you dish it to Bethany is when she comes back guns a-blazing, right? She blocks, she cease and desists, she sues, she creates content taking you down, she starts movements called Reality Reckoning, she tries to take down luxury makeup, luxury bags. I don't know. So, so Jeff Lewis says, me and Bethany are fine. What about you, Andy? Are you guys? He totally messes with her. Now, he also talked about Amazon. Speaking of Amazon earlier, that Amazon, okay, Jeff Lewis had the show Hollywood House Lift on Amazon Freevee. Do you know what Amazon Freevee is? If you don't, you're not alone. It's really strange. It's the strangest, most random, app. It's confusing because it feels like it should just be on Amazon Prime, but it was its own app. You had to download it. And I remember watching the first season of Hollywood House Lift when I was sick with COVID back in 2021 and loving it. But like, I'm not turning on Amazon Freevee anytime soon to watch anything else except a show that can only be found on Amazon Freevee. And I guess during when he did Hollywood House Lift season 2, they had a huge budget. They were really pouring money and energy into marketing the show, and it was doing really well. And then I guess what happened was Amazon Freevee is like gone away. They basically have disintegrated or dissolved Freevee, and now they're trying to kind of push all the Freevee content into Amazon Prime. The problem is, and Jeff was saying, the problem is that Amazon Prime, while Prime Video puts so much money into their content, they're really focusing on scripted content, meaning they want to cut the budget significantly. He didn't say this out loud, like specifically, but he's saying that it's not a good fit for his show anymore. I guess they probably want to lessen his pay. They probably want to lessen the budget of the show, which needs to be high, obviously, because they want to bring all these celebrities in. And so now he's saying he's shopping it around. And I guess that is why he's just had a tough couple weeks. Apparently, yesterday, I did hear yesterday's show, and he was going off about some custody issues with Gage, his ex, and just really frustrations that Jeff is having that I don't think he should be talking about on the air ever, about money, etc., about his daughter. But the point is, he just can't be stopped. Jeff can't be stopped with these things. He just gets in his own way. Jeff and Justin Timberlake, right? The point is that they are shopping the show around. And so as of right now, there is no Hollywood Housewives season 3. And I wonder if it will continue. Now, Andy Cohen said something. He's like, this is why reality stars cannot completely, just rely on reality shows to be successful. Like, they just can't. Reality shows are a drop in the hat, like they will come and they will go, and they will come and they will go. And honestly, it's like, it's absolutely not going to be a, you have no guarantee. You have no guarantee. Like when Lindsay Hubbard was saying on the Summer House reunion, yes, I know that we all make money from the show and that is our primary job, but this can go away. It's the smartest way to look at any of this. You use reality as a side hustle or as a stepstone to build your other businesses, to announce your other businesses, to market and distribute your other businesses. But if you are on these reality shows as like, this is my career, which a lot of those Bachelor people did over so many years, or, AI Gary on The Golden Bachelor, it's just a bad move. It's a bad move because it can go away in 2 seconds, just like Jeff Lewis. Even Jeff Lewis, someone who is so incredibly talented and successful. He has the number 2 slot on Sirius Radio after Howard Stern. Like, this guy brings an audience. Even he, wasn't getting what he wanted deal-wise and is going to have to shop around his new show. So it's a really interesting take on the world of reality. Think about how many reality stars have come through our lives and then have gone right on to never being seen again, i.e. Love is Blind, any of these Netflix reality stars, although they're all on Perfect Match right now, which is so good. And I wanted to talk about Perfect Match, but I need to know from you guys here in the comments, and I'm just going to give it a minute. Have you caught up on 9 episodes of Perfect Match, or do you need a couple more days before the finale on the 21st? Because I don't want to spoil it, but it's a really good show. It's really good. And I don't just say that because Lance worked on it. I did not watch last season. It's really good. But Harry Jowsey is effing awful. He's always going to be. So, okay. A lot of you guys did watch. Good. Okay. So, anyway, these reality stars come and go through your life and you'll never see them again, half of them, and whatever. I did spend my evening last night watching Love Island. I caught up because I didn't have anything to watch. I did watch Below Deck Med. And I want to talk about Below Deck Med with you guys, but there's not enough to talk about. Like, there's not enough to cover, except Aisha going amazing all the time. Now, Love Island is... I can't decide what to do with the show. It is so gross. They're just all kissing and making out. I mean, the amount of tongue that you see on the show. But Ariana Madix, who's the host, looked so damn hot last night. Whoever is doing Ariana's hair and makeup, I think it's her own crew that she brought, they should win awards. She looks phenomenal. She looks phenomenal on this show. Love Island USA is pretty good, you guys. I have to say, I got really heated by it last night. Heated sounds like I got turned on. My heart was racing at the end of it. I was like, oh, I can't believe that happened. So anyway, go and watch Love Island and Perfect Match. I'll give you guys, I'll talk about Perfect Match at some point this week because there's just not that much to talk about TV show wise, other than thank you, Justin Timberlake, for giving us something to talk about today. Let's give him something to talk about. Emily is asking, do I watch Dubai? And the truth is I don't. And here's the thing. I actually want to, except I'm very, very turned off by some of the women in real life. I'll just leave it at that. But we'll have to see. Maybe I need a few more episodes so I can binge. Because when I watch one episode, I'm bored beyond belief. So let me know, you guys, if it's worth to watch more of Dubai. I am not into it yet. Okay. That is that. I'll leave you guys there. What a fun episode talking about Howie Mandel's idiotic moves, right? I hope you guys have an incredible end of your or rest of your Tuesday. Come back tomorrow refreshed and ready to go. And if you are a member on this channel, there's 450 of you guys here right now. If you're a member of this channel, all you have to do is hit join below. It's on the same page as like next to subscribe. If you're a member of this channel, just remember, I'm going to do a members only live. I want to do one. I'm waiting for a certain number to become members because I know like it only will work if we have a lot of interaction. And I just announced this membership. So I want to wait until like a certain amount, but I'm thinking I'll probably schedule it for next week. But this is going to be a moment where you guys will be able to hang out with me, interact with me. I'm going to answer all your questions. I'll talk about everything. It will be very much like a live Q&A situation here as a member. And so we'll do that. But I want to wait. Like I said, I don't want to do it when there's not going to be enough interaction in the live. So hit member, join now, and then we'll have fun together. We'll do all kinds of fun things together. Maybe I'll try and use Swedish candy for you live. All right, you guys have an amazing rest of your Tuesday. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.